Welcome back. Yes, Simon and Carla wouldn't have been married if there hadn't at some stage been a proposal. Well, David, those rules are pretty straightforward. In fact, the rules here in the studio for letters and numbers are quite straightforward, and they're meant to help people.
That's right.
But that's not always the case with rules, is it?
That's exactly right. Some rules are complicated and deliberately complicated so that they can't be readily understood. And the classic example of this is the catch-22. And catch-22 is essentially, it's almost like a paradox or a vicious cycle. For example, if you wish to apply for a job and you require experience, they're only taking people who have experience, and yet you can't be experienced unless you have the job. That is a catch-22. And it relates to a novel that was written in 1961, the Joseph Heller novel, Catch-22. And the main character of that was Yossarian, who was an American bombardier. Now, he wished to be grounded. He didn't wish to fly around and cause havoc in the air. He wished to sit the war out. And in order to do that, he had to apply, using all the paperwork, to say that he was insane. But to use the paperwork and know how to navigate the paperwork, of course, you had to be sane. So he was stuck in this situation.
It was a rule designed to keep him in the air.
Exactly right. And that really was the spirit of the Heller satire. But the other thing, too, it's a paradox. And a paradox comes from Greek meaning against thinking or against opinion, para and doxa. And the classic Socrates paradox, which is a little of a catch-22, is that I know nothing. Which reminds me a little bit of that James Bond, pseudo-James Bond movie, Never Say Never.
Great stuff, David. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at our scores. And we have wife competing against husband, husband competing against wife tonight. Carla is on 6 and Simon is on 14. Carla, back into action now. What would you like for the next letters?
Can I please have a consonant?
You can indeed. F.
And another one, please.
T.
And a vowel, please.
I.
A vowel.
E.
And a consonant, please.
S.
And another consonant.
T.
And a vowel, please.
I.
And a consonant.
N.
And another consonant.
And lastly, M.
Thanks, Lily. Here's the clock. Well, Carla, how many for you?
Just a 5.
A 5 for you, Simon?
6, Richard.
6 for you. I wonder if when you're playing at home, you actually have any sledging, you know, with Carla sort of saying, oh, come on, 6? You couldn't have possibly got 6? You know, is there that sort of vigorous interplay?
Definitely.
That rings bells. All right, let's start with your 5, please, Carla.
Mints. M-I-N-T-S.
Thank you. And Simon?
Infest.
David?
It's good, infest, but I'm actually a little bit miffed that you both missed smitten. That's a 7 that I found there, but a lovely 8 is feminist. F-E-M-I-N-I-S-T. Of course, infest is good for 6.
Great find, David. And 6 points for Simon. Now, Simon, we were hearing from Carla a little while ago that sometimes there's a little bit of sledging when you are playing together. You know, do you crumble under pressure?
Oh, no, I try to stay the distance, make sure I'm in there all the way to the end, you know.
And you don't bring any of those kind of techniques home from the rugby field?
Oh, no, the most violent I guess I'll throw the paper away, maybe at the end.
I think now, stay calm and choose some more letters.
I will do. Lily, can I please start with the consonant?
Thanks, Simon. W.
Another consonant, please.
T.
Another consonant, please.
R.
Can I get a vowel, please?
A.
Another vowel, thank you.
E.
Can I get a consonant, thank you?
L.
And another consonant, please.
D.
And another consonant, thank you.
N.
And a vowel, thank you.
And last letter, I.
Here we go. Simon, how many?
6, thanks, Richard.
And Carla?
I have a 7.
Sounds good. Your 6 first, Simon.
Retail.
And yours, Carla?
Trailed.
Trailed. That's sounding promising, David.
Well, you're still trailing, Carla, but you've just caught up a little. That's a good 7. Well played. Trawled was another 7. In fact, lying there in the first 7 letters.
Excellent work. Well done, Carla. 7 points. Is this the start of the comeback? Well, Carla, the numbers this time.
Thank you. Can I please get 2 large and 4 small, please?
Thanks, Carla. 2 large and 4 small. And our numbers 1, 9, 5, 7. And the 2 large 75 and 25. The target to reach is 111.
Let's try and get there. Well, Carla, how close?
111.
111, right on the target. That was good. And Simon?
Same again.
Okay, Carla, take us there, please.
75 plus 25 is 100.
75 plus 25 is 100.
Plus 7 plus 5
Plus 7 plus 5
is
is
112.
112.
And then take away the 1.
Minus the 1. 111.
Excellent work. Right on target, Carla. Well done. Simon, did you use the same method?
We don't always agree.
Oh.
I did a little bit
And
different.
what's that got to do with the present situation?
I just did it slightly differently. Once I got to 100, I added 9, and then I added 7 minus 5.
Add 9 and then 7 minus 5 is 2. Add that together is 111. Well done.
So great result for you as well, Simon. Well done. Fantastic scores from both Carla and Simon. Lily, either of those 2 methods you fancy?
Yeah, well, they both did well, but girl power, I did it Carla's way.
Oh, there's no bias on this show, not even a little bit. But we're very pleased that both Simon and Carla scored 10 points each. That means Carla is on 23, Simon is only 7 ahead on 30. As we head into another break, another word mix for you, dairy lot. And this time the clue, done the right way. Back in a moment.